Welcome everybody. My name is Brian McKeska. I'm with the Reynolds Company. Today we have Mike Masterson with me from the Reynolds Company, as well as Jeremy Megan from WIN911. And he'll be going over alarm notification for industry and industrial Internet of Things. All yours, Jeremy.
Awesome. Thanks for joining, guys. Good morning. I think everyone here is probably not too far from me. I'm here in Austin, Texas. So my name's Jeremy. I manage the Rockwell Automation partnership and channels for WIN911 software. We are based here in Austin, Texas. We've been doing alarm notifications for quite some time. We've also been partnered with Rockwell, a longtime Encompass partner, now a technology partner under the new naming. So today's Tech Talk, I wanted to give you guys a good overview of our core solution, really the key industries that we serve, how we integrate into automation systems, right? So the second phase will be more focused on architecture, how WIN911 fits in with FactoryTalk view, and we'll be going into the notification methods that we support, including things like email, voice, SMS, text message, or mobile app alert. And then toward the end, we'll do a quick review of our licensing structure. And if there's time, I know we've got a 30-minute window here. We can answer any questions. But I appreciate you guys all joining. Quick background, we are based out of Austin. WIN911's been headquartered here really since the 70s. We do have offices in France, Grenoble, France. We have a development office in Mexico, and we've also expanded into the China markets. And really, we've been doing the same thing since day one. And alarm notifications, it's a very niche product, and we've consistently been focused around delivering alarm notifications. So really the naming convention, WIN911, we did start on a Windows 3.1 platform. We still do operate on Windows OS, and then 911 really being, critical emergency response in the US. So what is WIN911 and how do we fit into the ecosystem? Well, we're again focused around delivering of the right notification to the right person on the right device. And it really starts with our direct connects. So if you look at this diagram, really starting here at the left, I think this is kind of a good depiction of our overall solution. We tie directly into your SCADA HMI or OPCDA server, taking the native descriptions provided by FactoryTalk and push that notification out intelligently using a combination of scheduling and collaboration and escalation. So whether you're a system engineer, maybe that's responsible for fixing equipment when it's broke, or a plant manager that just has to make sure everything's operating well and there's no major problems, or maybe you're, in some cases, maybe you're just somebody in a control room and you want to verbally hear what's going on with your alarms, so that you may need to call somebody else to help. And then of course, some situations we actually do notify a response center. So maybe if you've got a security door alarm or something critical that's affecting the overall security, you may want to actually notify emergency response. The first use case I want to talk through is a large meat processing customer, Tyson Foods. We've been working with them for a long time. Fortunately, was able to, they were nice enough to help us with a customer case study. And really the big struggles prior to implementing WIN911 were staffing issues, production, lost production, reliability of notifications. So in New London, Wisconsin, this meat processing plant's doing meatballs, bacon, sausages, everything from packaging to actually cutting the meat, right? And over 500 million pounds of product per year. So prior to implementing WIN911, it was really a much, I guess, a much less automated notification. An operator visually monitored a computer screen, and then depending on the issue, engineering and IT would generally need to be involved to assist with any of the issues, and it was really becoming a burden dealing with weekly system crashes, just not having a reliable communication path when these events occur. So we deployed WIN911. They're using email alerts, some of the key equipment being monitored. You can imagine in meat processing, you've got temperatures, you've got tanks, you've usually got wastewater, pressure parameters. So really eliminating a middleman sitting in front of a control room, a control panel per se, really enabling engineering and IT through direct notification from WIN911. So this was a cool quote that we got from one of the senior engineers. In addition to helping us ease compliance, the capabilities have allowed the facility to save $100,000 in wastewater chemicals. The visibility allowed us to see where inefficiencies were happening so that we could adjust and refine our process. That was a pretty cool quote. It's great to actually be able to see kind of the results as a dollar value. I think that's very powerful. The next case study before we move on into more product specific, I'm going to be talking about a local utility customer, City of College Station, home of the Texas Aggies. I'm sure we got some Longhorns on here too, but you know, really that town has really expanded, not only from the college perspective, but now over 100,000 residents, and all their drinking water is obtained from groundwater sources, like many other water utilities around the state of Texas. And so prior to using WIN911, we did provide a solution for them. Customer was using a manned 24/7 approach. Operators were monitoring the process basically manually, and depending again on the really on the, I guess, the criticality of the alarm, they would manually call out maintenance to assist as needed. So really just inefficient procedures, downtime, communication gaps. So we deployed WIN911 to notify directly via email based on all their critical alarms. So whether it be an HVAC alarm, or maybe something in the electrical equipment, the pump stations, these are just a few, but actually City of College Station did recently implement our mobile app as well. So really, again, taking that critical event, pushing it to the maintenance staff directly, eliminating having to staff overnight, and really saving the company on not only on staffing costs, but just overall a lot more efficient in responding to these alarms. So we do serve a number of other industries. You can imagine, being in Texas, oil and gas has been a large one, environmental services, life science manufacturing, discrete manufacturing, food and beverage, aerospace, wastewater. These are some of them that we serve, mining in some places, right? So really a number of different manufacturing applications as well. So anywhere you've got PLCs or you've got critical alarms, there's generally a way we can tie in. So moving into FactoryTalk integration. So we are well, we do have a FactoryTalk client, Direct Connect. And so what I mean by that is Rockwell provides the FactoryTalk View A&E server. We provide the client connection. And so the flow from really kind of under the hood, how WIN911 works starts with our data source integration. So integrating into the FactoryTalk A&E source, pushing that data to our dispatcher, which is responsible for the advanced call out escalation, making sure that person's available. And then the reporting module, really the third phase, is interacting with the voice or the email or SMS. These all represent a series of modules, and so you really install the modules that you need. So if you're only using a mobile app and maybe SMS, then you don't need to necessarily install the voice and email module. But we're all communicating to this reporting piece that's telling the dispatcher that John or whoever it may be is act the alarm, and we are able to pass that act bit back to FactoryTalk, including the connection name and WIN911 and your alarm details and how they acknowledge it, whether it be on a smartphone or via email, etc. And so with a single application, what's required on our side is a single WIN911 license and the WIN911 FT add-on client. Now this graphic here probably depicts, I would say, maybe a medium to larger size type of application. There may not always be this many moving parts. But really for WIN911 to communicate with FactoryTalk, we utilize the services platform. If you're using a network distributed type of setup, you can really install WIN911 anywhere in the network on a client, server, or PC, as long as you have FactoryTalk directory and the FactoryTalk View client installed. We can connect to multiple applications. Again, the alarms and event server is going to be taking your logic-based alarms as well, and we can dynamically receive those alarms and push it out using your preferred notification method. So maybe as a system integrator, as an engineer, when you're setting up the product, or if you're an end customer that does the alarming side, this is how WIN911 interfaces with FactoryTalk A&E. We're using what we call a filtering method, filtering or subscription method, where we can drill down based on specific properties defined within your FactoryTalk application. So we can filter based on tag name, we can do alarm class, group name, we can do severity name or severity range or severity value. And you can really do a combination of the different properties as well. So in this example, we're only looking for alarms that are part of the urgent priority group. And realistically, this would be assigned to a group of people that would be notified in 911. So really, it's dynamic in the sense that as long as you've got your subscriptions, your filters set up, we're going to continue to update as new tags are built in your database, as long as they meet this filter criteria. You can tack a label to that. It's really just a way to organize your alarms. So seamless acknowledgements, a single database to manage. Highly encourage you to check out the Direct Connect. And moving forward, so we've talked a little bit about the data source integration. Now we're going to move on to the notification methods. I think one thing that makes our products unique is the flexibility of using different notifiers. So we have a mobile app, WIN911 mobile. This is going to be the first screenshot you see here. That's what it looks like when you first sign into the app. We'll go into some of the key features here momentarily on mobile. Essentially, this is going to give you push notifications on your smartphones or tablets. You can visibly see all your active alarms. You can act alarms remotely. You can chat within your groups. There's definitely some cool features that make the whole team visibility a lot clearer as well. SMS, so this is more of a cellular type of solution using your standard text messaging, SMS text messaging. You can acknowledge alarms using text as well. You may not be able to see this clearly, but here on the phone, you've got a text message from WIN911. It would have a unique alarm ID, that's 331, and then an alarm description. So door assemblies, welders no longer functioning and is active, unacknowledged in an event time. Users can respond to that with an ACT code and using that alarm ID and remotely acknowledge the alarm, both in WIN911 and in View. Now, a lot of our customers use this acknowledgement as a means to stop notifying, to perhaps halt going down this list of people they want to send notifications to. And then voice also does tend to be a popular one. I would say largely water, wastewater. Many cases many of these operators are very mobile. They want something that's going to wake them up in the middle of the night. So we can call you. We can do more of a VoIP type of call where we can integrate into your Cisco call manager phone system, or utilize a phone line using something like this. This is it's called Grand Stream. It's just a Ethernet IP modem that connects to a phone line. And then you can acknowledge alarms using voice as well. Email is going to be your standard SMTP server you would configure in WIN911. We can send a message to you. You can really customize your format in terms of how that message looks. So if you want to add more details, etc., you do have some flexibility there. But again, you get two-way notifications across the table, really allowing that acknowledgement and dynamic integration with FactoryTalk. So for mobile, this is going to be our latest notification method. It's available with all of our current products. With interactive and advanced. I'll go into the licensing and at the end. So this guy here is going to be a notification solution for retrieving your alarms. You can do OPC tags. You can do reports on OPC tags. Like in this tablet here, it's showing a freshwater tank report or a tank report. So you've got some values on particular tags you could retrieve on your smartphone. And then your alarm summary screen is going to give you all of your active alarms, as well as your recent events that have came in. So this should really marry what you're seeing in your alarm summary and FactoryTalk. And the icon here to the left is actually showing you what the alarm state is. So whether it be unacknowledged and active, or active and acknowledged, or inactive, acknowledged, etc. And then actually smartwatches do work as well. So you just need internet access. You can connect a single app to multiple sites. And the best part is just how quick it is to deploy. It's extremely easy to set up. You don't need any extra hardware devices. You just need your WIN911 install and the mobile app. No modems. Now, going a little deeper into what's included with the package. So the mobile app does give you, this I think you can see it a little bit better here, just kind of what it looks like. This is actually showing an Android screen, but you get a push notification on your phone. You can visibly see when somebody's, so the only users that are part of your team would be able to chat here in this thread. So it's just a thread within the app. You get a push notification on your phone. You could say, I'm working on this, whatever the case may be. You can connect to multiple sites. If you're a manager, maybe you have WIN911 in your power department and in your wastewater department. You could point both of these apps or both of these systems to a single app. And really, I think one of the coolest things, it doesn't show it in this screenshot, but on the team tracker, you can actually, you can turn yourself in do not disturb mode. you're going home for the weekend, and you can visibly see the users that are in Do Not Disturb. So if you sign into the app, this is the first thing you'll see. This is on an Android device. Currently, we've only got one site connected, the FTAE demo. Your active alarms would be, or all your recent alarms would show here in your, it's called the alarm summary screen. You could drill down on a particular event. So if I click on the computer door room alarm, you can see a description, what the current state is, active, unacknowledged. You can act through the app. You can chat, again, within only the users that have the app and are on the group. And you can customize your formats in the app. So if you want to move around the properties, or you want to add additional details, as long as we have that information from FactoryTalk, we can push that out to you. And really the security piece was a top priority when we developed this. We're leveraging Microsoft Azure for our new app. So essentially this is an account that we're going to create. It will be tied to the WIN911 license. And then as a user, you configure this in the software to connect the mobile module to, or the mobile hub, if you're going more for a distributed setup, to the web API hosted in Azure. And so it's really a outbound only connection to the web API. We're utilizing what's called a WCF relay that we're really leveraging Azure's security model, and forming basically a handshake. So as you add new users into the system, you authenticate them through Microsoft Azure, and that allows them to receive notifications on their smartphones. So once you've got your notification method set up, you can build your escalation. This is what we call a basic notification list or call list. This is going to come with all of our products. And essentially it's a notification queue starting from the top. This could be tied to one alarm, or this could be tied to a subset of alarms. And essentially it's going to just go down the list. It will take into account things like a schedule. So if somebody's not available, it just skips them on the list. And so in this example, it's going to email Bob first, then email Alice, then email Joe. And maybe if somebody doesn't acknowledge or respond, maybe you want to switch to a phone call on the on-call phone. You can do things like retries as well. So if your internet goes down, you want to add a retry, maybe I want to try to reconnect in a minute, you can build some of those things into the escalation to ensure notification reliability. And you can cycle through this list. A lot of our users want to just keep calling until somebody does respond. The other way to lay out your escalations using advanced workflows. So this is like a flowchart type of design that I would say is a bit more flexible for escalating using what we call decision blocks and notification blocks. So starting here at the top, your green dot, this would represent an active alarm. And the first variable in this example, we're going to look to see, is this alarm a water treatment plant storage tank alarm? If it is, I do want to do something with it. If I don't, maybe it's not that important. So if it is, maybe I want to look to see if the alarm's over a certain severity before I start firing out notifications. So maybe if it's over 750 severity, I'd want to notify all my water treatment plant operators and then managers. But maybe if it's not as severe, I'll wait 10 minutes, see if it returns to normal. If not, I'll just send a quick notification to all my water treatment plant operators. So it allows for things like role-based callouts. That's kind of what we have set up here. I think it's from an ongoing maintenance perspective, it can be pretty nice to use. And you're really going to have these policies as well that are listing the action and conditions when 911 should take when this condition is met. So in this example, we're going to notify everybody on my assembly operator list. Again, this could be one alarm or a subset of alarms. And upon a 20-minute timer, I want to notify everybody if my alarm hasn't become terminal, which would be unacknowledged or acknowledged and inactive. So maybe if it's, it's a critical alarm and nobody responds after a period of time, using advanced, you can build these additional timers, and you notify multiple groups based on the same event. Again, we're going to take account into your schedule. In our next major release, we're going to be able to, you'll be able to import and export directly from like an Outlook, which is good. Currently, I mean, it is set up like Outlook in a sense, so you can build things like recurring schedules. So here in this example, I've got an 8 to 4 shift, an 8-hour shift that is every Tuesday and Thursday, and I want to repeat this until maybe the end of the month. So you can really, you can get pretty flexible with shift schedules and holiday schedules, things of that nature. Did want to mention you get this utility with the product called Contacts Utility. It's a good operator tool to quickly change the order of your call out lists, modify roles and schedules. You can run this on any PC in the network. It's a great tool for users you don't want to give full access to the configurator. And then our announcer, this is another desktop app, but this is, I mentioned this is used quite a bit in water. It's a text-to-speech playback over speakers or over PA system. So this is what the interface looks like. You can subscribe to different alarm states, or if you want to subscribe to more critical alarms, it's going to broadcast locally alarm messages. So you can have this concurrently playing while you're getting calls or getting text messages, whatever the case may be. And so as I'm kind of getting toward the end here, I wanted to review the licensing structure, product comparison. Really have 3 different offerings: WIN911 Standard, WIN911 Interactive, and WIN911 Advanced. Each of our products do include 1 year of support. WIN911 does require a Windows operating system. It can be virtual or physical server. We do support localization for if you have any users that don't speak English, may prefer a different language pack. We can certainly support that. You get your scheduling with all the packages. Really, the standard is going to give you one-way email and SMS, so no acknowledgements in your basic notification list. The interactive is going to give you bidirectional notification, so email, voice, SMS, mobile app. You get acknowledgements with all of those, and you also get you get up to 10 user seats for the smartphone app. You also do get some reporting capabilities, so you get a single OPC connection with the base license. You can use this to set up those reports I had mentioned. And then the advanced is going to give you 25 smartphone seats. It's going to give you the advanced notification workflows, the flowchart design, and just more user seats with the smartphone apps, up to 25. Of course, if you have more than 10 and you have interactive, or you have more than 25 and you have advanced, we do offer additional seats in packs of 10. So essentially, if you've got 100 users or you've got 10, either way, it can be as many as you need. We just need to update the licensing. Well, it looks like the timing was just about right. I wanted to just see if there was any questions here in the chat. Thank you guys very much. One question: can WIN911 treat alarms differently than events? There's a lot of value taking actions for alarm versus using data insights and analytics from events. So we do support both events and alarms, and with the FactoryTalk data source, you can segment them. You can filter on them separately. So if you only care about events, or if you only care about alarms, or you can look at both. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, Rockwell added support with FactoryTalk 10 or 11 for both alarms or for events. So we can handle those like you would handle just like an alarm, depending on how you program WIN 911. All right. Do we have any other questions coming in?
I'm not seeing any right now, just the one.
Terrific.
So,
Well,
thank you for your time, Jeremy.
Thank you.
And thanks for everybody for joining.
Yeah, thanks everyone. I appreciate it. Certainly, let the folks at Reynolds know if there's anything you might need from us, preferred partner. We appreciate all your support.